ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्य विष्णुं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजाता सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादा सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमः। ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरि प्रिये। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Hare Krishna. So we are supposed to start from verse number 30. This time I knew it because I put a bookmark. Hare Krishna. So we are studying Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4. Chapter 4 is entitled Transcendental Knowledge, and we are going to discuss from verse number 30. Please repeat after me. Sarve ete yajnavido yajna kshapita kalmashah yajna shishtamrita bhujo yanti brahma sanatanam. Sarve ete yajnavido yajna kshapita kalmashah yajna शिक्षामृत भुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम. सनातन निताई प्रभु. आप रिपीट कीजिए. सर्वेप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृत भुजो यान्ति ब्रह्म सनातनम. One Mataji and then one child. सर्वेप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो यान्ति ब्रह्मा सनातनम. One child. Yes. सर्वेप्येते यज्ञविदो यज्ञक्षपितकल्मषाः यज्ञशिष्टामृतभुजो yanti brahma sanatanam. Very good. So this is Sudevi. Please welcome her and her parents to our group by 3 times loudly chanting Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Bhai Charanarvinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada. But before that, let us read the synonyms. Sarve means all, api, although apparently different, ete, these, yajna-vida, conversant with the purpose of performing sacrifices. Yajna means sacrifice. Yajna kshapita, being cleansed as a result of performance of yajna. Kalmasha, cleansed of what? All the sinful reactions. Kalmasha. Yajna shishta, the result of such performance of yajna. Amrita bhuja, those who have tasted such amrit, such nectar. Yanti, they do approach Brahma, the supreme, Sanatanam, the supreme eternal atmosphere. Means Vaikuntha. Paravyam. Translation. Lord Krishna is telling Arjuna, all these performers who know the meaning of sacrifice, yajna, vida, become cleansed, shapita, of sinful reactions, kalmasha, and having tasted the nectar, yajnashishta amrita, having tasted the nectar of the result of these sacrifices, they advance, yanti, toward the supreme eternal atmosphere, Brahma Sanatanam. So in simple words, those who perform yajna, they will become purified and they will attain Krishna. They will attain Vaikuntha. Simple. They will become purified and they will attain the spiritual world. Brahma, Sanatana. This is the effect of performing yajna. Now, in the preceding verses, Krishna explained what is yajna and what are the different types of yajna. All of you remember? Last few verses, Krishna was describing different types of yajna. Hare Krishna. Ricardo and Annabelle, welcome. There are 2 chairs just for both of you. So, Krishna was explaining the different types of yajnas. Krishna was saying that with full concentration hearing, that also becomes a yajna. By offering the result of our activities to Krishna, that becomes a yajna. By offering our breathing through breath control, that also becomes a yajna. By sacrificing the objects of our senses, which we tend to enjoy, offering them to Krishna, that also becomes a yajna. So in this way, Krishna described different yajnas. In Bhagavad Gītā, Lord Krishna says that the best yajna is yajnanam japa yajnasmi. So every day we all do japa. Everybody here is doing japa every day? Yes, Nishtha? Nishtha is saying with so much nishtha. Yes. Good. Siyarani? Badi Sayani? You are doing Radhe Radhe, na? Radhe Radhe, see? This is japa. So everybody has to chant. Shreya, you are doing japa every day? Okay. Those of you who are doing japa every day, very good. Those of you who are planning to start doing japa, very good. Japa is for everyone. Krishna says, of all the yajnas, japa yajna is the best. Yajnanam japa yajnasmi. What is the meaning of japa? Chanting. Very nice. Chanting with concentration. Ricardo, you are chanting? 10 minutes. 10 minutes? Very good. After bath? There's a problem. You can bathe with the holy name. Sarvatma snapanam param vijayate. But very good. So everybody should chant the names of God. Whichever name of God you like, you should chant. In our scriptures, this Hare Krishna Mahamantra is specially recommended. Who knows the verse from Kali Santarna Upanishad? From Kali Santarna Upanishad. That was very good. That is Brihan Puran, mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita also many times. But from Kali Santarna Upanishad, where the Hare Krishna Mahamantra is mentioned. Iti Shodashakam Namnam. Look at this verse. Kali Kalmashanashanam Natah Parataropaya Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. And what is the verse before this? Iti, na? So, iske pehle ka verse is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Iti Shodashak. 16. Namnam. 16 names. Iti Shodashakam Namnam. Kali Kalmashanashanam. Kalmash means all the sins, all the sinful reactions. We all commit sins in this world. Knowingly, generally, and sometimes unknowingly also. So all these sins are destroyed by chanting the name of God. Iti Shodashakam Namnam, specifically these 16 names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sal, did you count it? 16? Count, count. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. 16? Okay, that's authorized. Iti Shodashakam Namna. These 16 names, Kali. Kali means Kali Kukura Kadan. Kali means a dirty rabid dog. Kaliyug. Very bad. Kaliyug is Kaler Dosha Nidhe. It's an ocean of faults. But Kali Kalmasha Nashanam. It destroys all the bad effects of Kaliyug. These 16 names. Well, is there any other remedy? If we Sarva Vedashi Drishyate, if we search through all the Vedas, is there any other remedy better than this? Ananga Sundari Mataji? Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Jai Ho. इति शोदशकम नाम नाम कली कल्मशनाशनम नातः परतर उपाय. इससे बेहतर उपाय नहीं है. There is no upaya better than this. Sarva Vedeshu Drishyate. Brahmaji is saying this, from whose four mouths the four Vedas come. He is saying, you can do a Vedas search, Veda-based search. You will not get a better remedy to destroy the sinful effects of Kali than chanting these 16 names, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And in this verse also, verse number 30, Krishna is saying, Yajna Shapita Kalmasha. Shapita means cleansed. Yajna means Yajna, sacrifice. Kalmasha, all the sinful reactions are destroyed by Yajna. And in Bhagavad Gita, same Bhagavad Gita, later on Krishna will say, Yajnanam Japayajnasmi. There are many Yajnas. Right now you are sitting and hearing, that is also Yajna. Your ears are the Yajna Kund. And the Vedic mantras are the offering. And what you get out of that is divine knowledge. And this Yajna happens. When we do Kirtan, that is also Yajna. Where our tongue, our hands, they are the Yajna Kund. And we are offering everything to the holy name. With concentration, we are chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. We are singing like that. So, studying the holy books is a yajna. Giving charity is a yajna. See, we discussed all this in the previous verses. But Krishna says, Yajnanam Japa Yajnasmi. Of all these yajnas, the best yajna is chanting the names. Yajnanam Japa Yajnasmi. Japa Yajna is the best. In Kali Yuga, which yajna is recommended for the intelligent people? Sumedhasa. Which is the verse? Very good. Krishna Varnam Tusa Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yadne Sankirtana Prayer Yajanti Hi Sumedhasa. We have to worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by Harinam Sankirtan Yadne. So when after the class we will be doing Kirtan, that is also Yadne. So there are different yajnas. Chanting the name of God is the best yajna. And Yajna Shapita Kalmasham. All the sinful reactions are destroyed by doing Yajna. Srimad Bhagavatam concludes with this message. All sins are destroyed by doing Harinam Sankirtan Yajna. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranashanam Pranamo Dukkha Kshamanas. Very good. Tam Namami Harintanam. So Nama Sankirtanam Yasya. Lord Hari, whose Nam Sankirtan, Sarva Papa Pranashanam. Beta, can you come in front? You sit with all your friends. Come. All the kids will like them to sit in the front row. Except Siarani. Because she's Sayani. She's big. Yes, Tarini. Radha. Devi. Dasa.
So you know how Satyuga, like should do tapasya and then Treta and should do
Yajna.
and then Dwapar they do deity worship and like Satyuk, so they do like Krishna now. So is it like technically doing all those yajnas? Like isn't that all doing like Nama Yajna, because like while doing tapasya, you're like chanting and you're like internally or externally, verbally like in the mind, or and then yajnas you're like chanting to invoke whichever devata or like Bhagwan, and then deity worship like while doing arti or puja, and like you're always chanting. So isn't that all japa?
Yes. And Chaitanya Charitamrita mentions this, that all the limbs of bhakti are completed by name. And without the holy name, all these things cannot be done. Eka Krishna nama kare sarva papa akshay. Navavidha bhakti Krishna nama haite hai. You said Dwapara there is Archana. In Satyayug there is Smaranam. So all these limbs of bhakti can be completed by chanting the holy name. Without chanting the holy name, no limb of bhakti can be accomplished. If somebody is told, don't chant the holy name and just do deity worship, you cannot begin deity worship because deity worship begins with Achaman. Om Keshavaya Namah. So meditation also, there is mantra meditation you cannot do. Yajna also. You're constantly chanting mantras. You've seen yajnas. So without the holy name, one cannot. For example, Dhruv Maharaj in Satyayug, he meditated. But he was meditating while chanting the mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. So you're right. Without the holy name, everything is incomplete. Navavidha Bhakti Purna Nama Haite Hai. Holy name completes all the Navavidha Bhakti. So, what is the point here? We can all become purified. Please pay attention. We can all become purified by doing yajna. There are many types of yajna. Which is the best yajna for us? Krishna is saying that. Yajna naam japa yajna sun. Krishna is saying. So, next verse number 31. Nayam lokos ayajnasya kutonya purusattama. Lord Krishna is telling Arjun, oh Arjun, Purusattama, the best among the Kurus, without sacrifice, ayajnasya, means without performing sacrifice, one can never live happily on this planet. Nayam lokosti. Or in this life, what then to speak of the next? Kuto anya. So one cannot be happy without doing yajna. And the best yajna is, Sudevi, chanting of the holy names. Anandam Buddhivardhanam Pratipadam Shri Krishna Sankirtan. All ananda, all bliss comes from Harinam Sankirtan. Without chanting the holy names, there cannot be any happiness. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So without sacrifice, one cannot be happy. People in this world are trying to be happy. We go through school, correct? So that we can get Sal. We go through school so that we can get degree. And what will the degree do? Yes, and then what will happen? We get money, correct? Job will help us earn money, and money will keep us comfortable in this world. Money will keep us comfortable in this world. Money will get us the needs that we need, and also the wants. You are so good. What is the difference between needs and wants?
Needs are something that you have to survive.
Like food. And wants?
Wants are something that you desire to have.
Wow. Very good. Big hand for everyone. You should be sitting here. I should be sitting there. Hare Krishna. Very good. So money will give us our needs and wants. That's why we want money. And we think money will make us happy. Money can buy us comforts in this world, but happiness is a state of consciousness. If money would guarantee happiness, there would not be so much depression and suicide in a rich country like America or among the rich people. There would not be so much depression and sorrow. One of the greatest physician shortages in this country is of psychiatrists. They're always in demand, especially child psychiatrists, always in demand. There's a tremendous shortage. Why? Because money and comforts and infrastructure cannot make one happy. Cannot make one happy. Think about ourselves. Most of us grew up in India in simple family, where there was probably one TV in the whole mohalla. Everybody would come. We had a TV. And on Sunday, when Ramayana serial used to come, all the patients, all the nurses, all the hospital staff, all the neighbors, all the children used to come around one TV. It was not even a flat screen TV. And everybody would watch. The house would be packed. We grew up like that. And now, practically in every bedroom, there is a TV in America. But are we happier? Now there is no Doordarshan. There are 24 hours channels, so many channels. There are channels for sports, channels for news, TV channels for movies. Are we happy? We have to honestly ask ourselves, were we happier growing up in that village where we grew up, simple life, where our pleasures were flying a kite and playing some soccer with our friends? Or are we happy now when we have so much more money and facilities? Money cannot make us happy. Money can buy certain things, like Anvika said, but happiness is something internal. So many rich people commit suicide. They have money. So it's not that we think, if I have money, I'll be very happy. If I have more money, I'll be more happy. But it's an illusion that we are chasing, like a mirage. You know what is a mirage? In the desert. We're just chasing a mirage. We think it's water. But when we get there, it's the sun. Yeah, it's the hot sun, hot sand. There is no water. So Krishna is saying that without performing yajna, you cannot be happy. And the whole modern civilization, all the democracies, all the socialist governments, all the communist governments, which are godless, they are a proof of Krishna's statement that without yajna, no one can be happy in this world. Just look at the state of affairs. Is Israel happy? Are the Palestinians happy? Are the African countries happy? Is Europe happy in the recession? Is America happy in the recession? Is Mexico happy? If they are happy, why are they coming? Crossing the border and coming? Nobody is happy. Are Indians happy? No. Such a long waiting period for green card. That's a proof that they are not happy in India. Americans are not happy. They are going to the psychiatrist and taking medicines to sleep at night. Indians are running here. Mexicans are running here. Africans are running here. Or they are going to Australia, New Zealand, other countries, Canada, in the hope of happiness. But nobody is happy in this world. Nobody is truly happy. Even if we are happy, that happiness is not sustained. Right now, we may feel happy, and then suddenly there is a bad news, and it's all over. When I was in Richmond last week, I met a devotee whose life was drastically affected by a stroke. 38-year-old devotee from India. And then I was seeing his photograph before the stroke. So healthy, 38-year-old. Nobody would have imagined. And there are so many other examples like that. If you just read the newspaper, I'm not recommending, but just open CNN, Fox News, NDTV, any Times of India, and you'll see it's bad news after bad news after bad news. This happened, that happened, this scandal, that scandal, this shootout, this problem, this drought, this flood. Now there's some flooding going on in Dubai. You know? So in this world, always something or the other is going on. And our happiness is never secure. We are always afraid something will happen. If it rains, there is water collecting. And then we are thinking, it will come inside the basement. The drain will get blocked. We just did the basement will get flooded. Everything will be gone. In this world, always there is a fear. Why we have those smoke detectors? We're always afraid. There will be a fire. See, small things. We have to understand how insecure we are in this world. Nobody can be happy without performing sacrifice. Krishna is saying. And no one can challenge this. Because show me one country where people are godless and they are blissful. Or show me one society of people where they don't believe in God and they are blissful and there is harmony. Took care of one patient, a poisoning patient. You know, in these universities, they have these fraternities and sororities, something like that. So one boy was poisoned by another boy of the same fraternity where they live together out of envy. So I just saw that there is no society. And then I was asking them, what is this fraternity? I didn't know what is fraternity. I asked, what is fraternity? They said, we are a group of people and we have the same philosophy, we have the same rules, and we vow that we will be best friends in the whole group. And same thing for girls, same thing for boys. And so much so that I was talking to one devotee who went to a college, and I said, you start a Bhakti Yoga club in your university. He said, no, Prabhu, I cannot. I'm part of a fraternity and we have our rules. I cannot preach, I cannot talk about religion, and I cannot promote any religious group. So I cannot help you, sorry. So people join fraternities for fraternity. Fraternity means brotherhood and friendship. But what is there? You are poisoning each other, fighting with each other. There is envy everywhere. Anywhere where there is godlessness, there cannot be any happiness. You show me any example that any society has been formed and they are godless, they don't believe in God, and they are completely happy. And there is good relationship between them, good understanding among them. You will never see that. It's not possible. Because real happiness comes from Krishna. He is Satchid Ananda Vigraha. We want Ananda, we have to go to Ananda Vigraha. Krishna, who is personified Ananda. Yes, Beta. Yes, Krishna is Ananda Murti. He is Ananda Vigraha. All happiness comes from Krishna. So Krishna is saying nobody can be happy without performing sacrifice. This we should take home as a message. We are all looking for happiness in this world. And Krishna is saying no one can be happy without performing sacrifice, without performing yajna. Which means if we want to be happy, we must perform yajna. And what is the yajna for Kali Yuga? Nama Sankirtanam yajna. The yajna of chanting the holy name of God. Text 32. एवं बहुविधा यज्ञा वितता ब्रह्मणो मुखे धर्मजान् विद्धितान् सर्वान् एवं ज्ञात्वा विमोक्ष्यसे. All these different types of sacrifice are approved by the Vedas, and all of them are born of different types of work. Knowing them, evam jnatva, knowing them as such, vimokshase, you will become liberated. So all these different types of sacrifices that are there, japa yajna, sankirtan yajna, swadhyaya yajna, dan yajna, tapasya yajna, dhyan yajna, all these different yajnas, they are mentioned in the Vedas, which means Krishna is saying we should only practice those yajnas which are approved by the Vedas, not that we concoct and invent some new form of sacrifice. That will not help. What is recommended in the Vedas, only that we should do, and by understanding them, we will be liberated. I will tell you a story of a person that I have seen with my own eyes. I will today tell you the story of a girl who was 21 years old. Everybody can relate to this. She was the same age as me, born at the same year. She was born in Bombay in the 1980s. And when she was 3 years old, her mother came to Krishna consciousness through the Radha Gopinath Mandir, the Juhu temple in Bombay. Previously, they used to eat meat, the whole family. There were two daughters, two sisters, and their mother. And they used to eat meat and eggs and everything. But when the mother joined the Bhakti Vriksha like this, she got convinced that we should be vegetarian. So she stopped eating, but because the daughters were used to eating meat and eggs, she continued to cook for them, meat and eggs. The younger daughter was 3 years old, and the elder daughter was few years elder. So when they would ask, she continued to give them meat, but she stopped. So the 3-year-old daughter, the younger one, asked the mother one day, "Mama, why you are not eating?" So she said, "Krishna doesn't like it if we eat meat." So she pushed her plate away. She said, "Then I will also not eat." 3-year-old girl. You like the story, Anvik? So cute. 3-year-old girl, she gave up eating meat. When she was 4 years old, her mother was doing laundry, ironing the clothes of the family. And this was probably 1984. So she had the radio on. In those days, there was radio. And she was listening to some Bollywood music. So this 4-year-old girl went to the mother and asked, "Mama, is this Krishna conscious song?" And Mama said, "No, beta, this is not Krishna conscious song." So mom turned it off. Put some Krishna conscious song. I'm talking about the daughter of Janava Mata from Pune. Hare Krishna. Shama Sundari. So this 4-year-old daughter made her mother stop the radio. Then every Friday, there was a devotee in Bombay by the name Mahaprabhu Prabhu. He was a lawyer. And he lived in Khar in Mumbai. And in his house, every Friday evening, there used to be a program. So this family would attend. In those days, Param Pujya Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj used to spend most of the year in Mumbai. So Saturday morning, they would go to Radha Gopinath Mandir for the Bhagavatam class. Then in the evening, Maharaj would give a home program on Bhagavad Gita, and they would attend that. Sunday morning, Maharaj would give Bhagavatam class in Radha Gopinath. They would attend that. And then at 1:30 in the afternoon, Sunday feast by Maharaj. So they would get 5 lectures every weekend. Friday evening at Mahaprabhu Prabhu's house, Saturday morning, Bhagavatam class in the temple, Saturday evening home program, Bhagavad Gita class, Sunday morning, Bhagavatam class in the temple, and Sunday afternoon, Sunday feast. 5 lectures by Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj every weekend they would attend. And 3 of them became very sincere devotees. When she was 8 years old, she was going to the school in the auto rickshaw. You know how it is in India, the rickshaws are stuffed. If the auto rickshaw has a capacity of 3 people, there will be a dozen kids at least. So they were going, and the auto rickshaw took a turn, and this 8-year-old girl, Shama, she fell on the road. And it was at some speed. So she rolled on the concrete road a few times and got really bruised head to toe. She was in a school uniform, just a frock and a shirt. So she was bruised all over. So there was no cell phone in those days, nothing. So nothing. She was just put back in the auto rickshaw and brought home. You can imagine the mother's shock seeing her daughter head to toe completely bruised, bleeding everywhere. So then her mother said, "What happened? 8-year-old girl, what happened, beta?" And she said, "Mama, it's my karma." 8-year-old girl. "Mama, it's my karma." So immediately the mother took her to a clinic, and she came up completely bandaged. She recovered, but this shows her consciousness. At the same time, when she was around 8 years old, she was in school and there was a birthday in the class. So the kid whose birthday it was, her mother sent a big cake to the classroom for everyone to eat. So the class teacher cut it and gave a piece to everyone. And when she called Shama, Shama said that, "No, teacher, I cannot have it. It has egg in it." This is 1980s. The concept of eggless cake was not so well known in those days. Every cake had egg. So there's egg in that cake. I will not eat the cake. So the teacher said, "No, no, this is eggless cake. It is made without egg. You take." So the teacher still remembers. She shook her head like this. And her ponytails were going back. Said, "No, I know. My mother has told me every cake has egg. I will not eat. It has egg in it." So the teacher called the mother, Janava Mata. Janava Mata is one of the senior most devotees in Pune. She called Janava Mata for a parent-teacher meeting. And she chastised Janava Mata that you are too strict with this little girl. She's only 8 years old. And you have put all these restrictions in her mind that you cannot eat cake because it has egg in it. This is too strict. She's just a little kid. Everybody in the class is eating cake. She's the only one deprived. This is not good. So Janava Mata said, "Next time there is a birthday party, you let me know. I will send a cake with her. But we cannot have cake because we wear this Tulsi mala in our neck. This is Vrinda Devi. We cannot eat onion, garlic, cake, eggs, meat." So then Janava Mata had to learn how to make an eggless cake. So it became a family affair. Every weekend they would bake, the 2 daughters and the mother. They would come together, and every weekend it was baking. Baking, they would bake cookies, they would bake cupcakes, cakes, pastries, and they became very expert. Everything eggless. And whenever there was a birthday in class, Janava Mata would make sure that she sent eggless cakes with their daughter, for her and for her kid friends also. In this way, they were growing up very happily in Bombay. But as it is in this material world, Dukhalaya, Ashashvatam. Everything is ashashvat. Shashvat means permanent. Ashashvat means temporary. Even if we are happy in this world, our happiness will be short-lived. So they got transferred to Pune in the late 1980s. That time there was no devotee, not one devotee in Pune. Not one devotee in Pune. Nobody in late 1980s. Even if they were, it was not well known because no cell phones, no internet. 1980s, late 1980s. So Maharaj instructed Janava Mata that you are going with your daughters, you should preach. If you want to survive in Pune, where there is no devotee association, you should preach and make devotees, make association, create association for yourself. So she said, okay, Maharaj, if you bless me, empower me, I will preach. So they had deities by now. 3 deities. Nitai Gaur Sundar, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Sudarshan Ju, and Radha Sham Sundar. And then Maharaj initiated her also, and the daughter, younger daughter, and named her Shama Sundari. Shama is a name of Radharani. So Krishna is Shama Sundar and Radharani is Shama Sundari. So Maharaj named her Shama Sundari. It's the name of Radharani. And they went to Pune. In Pune, there was no association. Weekday school, very busy. So weekday, on one evening, they would have a home program, Bhakti Vriksha in Pune, preaching in their apartment, their society. They would call people and preach. It became very successful. Hundreds of people started coming. So they would do it on a weekday, Wednesday evening or Thursday evening, like that. And then every Friday, they would get on the Deccan Queen Express and go to Bombay. Every Saturday, every Friday at I think 2:30 or 3 o'clock. And evening they would reach Bombay. They would jump off the station and take the connecting train to Khar and go for Mahaprabhu Prabhu's program, where Srila Radhanath Swami would give class every Friday evening. They would be on time. Then they would stay in different devotees' homes and attend the Saturday morning class, Saturday evening class, Sunday morning class, Sunday afternoon class. After Sunday feast, they would pack their lunch and jump on the train back to Pune. Reach Pune Sunday night, Monday morning, back to school. This was their routine year after year after year. When Janava Mata was asked, how do you manage to leave school early every Friday? She said, great people cheat for a great cause. She said, no, she didn't say this, I am saying this, but she told the school principal, both my daughters are undergoing prolonged dental treatment. And every Friday they have appointment. Ananda Sundari. And every Friday they have to go for the appointment. Extended dental treatment. And somehow they believed, Sal, the principal believed. And they said, okay, every Friday you can have early dismissal. Year after year, they had this schedule. Every Friday they would go from Pune to Bombay and come back Sunday night. 3 ladies, mother and 2 daughters. Then she got second initiation when she was 18 years old. She got second initiation. Preaching in Pune exploded like anything. So many devotees came in Pune. And Shama Sundari was very active in the dramas. She was a very good actress. And she would participate in the annual drama festival of Radha Gopinath Mandir. But her greatest attraction in life was Radharani of Vrindavan, Radha Sham Sundar Radharani. She would wait for an opportunity to go to Vrindavan, Krishna Balram Mandir, and for hours she would stand in front of Radharani, just offering her prayers, chanting Hare Krishna, just standing and chanting her Japamala in front of Radha Sham Sundar, just looking at Radharani, praying for service. She was one of the greatest inspirations for many, many devotees in the congregation. Young girl. At 18, when she graduated from college, she had a choice to go to a college. And when she was deciding her career path, at that time someone said that your spiritual master's health is not good, Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj. He has done so many austerities in his young age, breaking ice and taking bath, living in these cold places. His whole body has become very weak. He has no appetite. His Jatar Agni, the digestive power, is gone. So he has to be put on a special diet, but nobody is able to figure out what diet he can digest and what is nutritious. She said, I will become a nutritionist. And she enrolled in Pune University to do a bachelor's degree in nutrition. And her only aim was, I want to become Maharaj's personal cook. I will cook the most easily digestible, nutritious, tasty meal for my Guru Maharaj, who has performed such austerities like eating 1 carrot every day for 1 month. I will cook for him. I will travel wherever he goes as his personal cook. That was her ambition. Every day in college, she would wear tilak and go. Please listen carefully. It is mentioned in our Shastra that 4 things the men should always have. One is a Vaishnav tilak, one is a Shikha, one is Tulsi Mala, and the Brahmin thread. A devotee should always have these 4 things. Shikha, a tuft of hair behind, which is an indication that I have a guru. So if I make a mistake, guru will pull my shikha and bring me to the right path. Vaishnav tilak, showing that I am a devotee of Krishna, and this body is a temple of Vishnu. Tulsi Kanthi Mala, signifying our path of devotion, Bhakti Devi, Vrinda Devi. And Brahmin thread, it is an indication that I am studying the Shastras. So these 4 things everyone should have. Every male should have. She would go to college every day with a bright, beautiful tilak on her forehead. So she was nicknamed the Tilak girl. In college, there is a lot of peer pressure to fit in, to look good, to be popular. Imagine going to a college where you are the only girl who wears a tilak. You will be made fun of. You will be taunted, correct? You will not be popular. You will not fit in. She did not care. But she had one weakness. She liked Western clothes. She liked Western clothes. So she would wear tilak every day, but she used to like to wear Western clothes also. And Janava Mata, her mother, thought it's not good that she wears Western clothes. She should wear Indian clothes. So she spoke another white lie, like she had told the principal. Every Friday there is extended dental treatment going on for both the girls. She told another white lie. One day she called Shama aside and said, Shama, you know, some senior devotees were talking about you. That Janava Mataji's daughter, counselor's daughter, she wears all these Western clothes. Mama, were you very embarrassed when you heard that? Well, she just ran to her room, closed the door, and for hours she cried. And then she opened the door, came out with all her Western clothes, gave it to her mother and said, Mother, donate them. After today, I will never wear a Western. I will never wear Western clothes. I don't want to do anything that will spoil your reputation in the devotee society. From today, I will only wear Indian clothes. And she would wear sari and go to college every day with tilak. And her final exam came. Final exam, where she'll graduate and get the BA degree in nutrition, or whatever the degree was, BSc, I don't know. And that, since her childhood, since she came to Krishna consciousness, this family had never missed a single yatra of Maharaj. If Maharaj is taking yatra to Nasik, they will go. If Maharaj is taking a yatra, Jubilan yatra, they will go. And Kartik yatra, of course they will go. Every year, they had not missed one Kartik yatra with Maharaj. And in the year 2000, if I remember correctly, Maharaj was going to Vrindavan, Kartik Yatra. And her final exams were during the Kartik Yatra. University exams, Pune University exams. So everybody said, it's okay, this year you miss. Next year, your education will be over, then you are free to attend. This one yatra you must miss. She said, no, I have to try something. What you will try? It's a Pune University exam. Not do anything. The yatra date will not change, and your exam date also will not change. So you must stay for the exam. She said, let me try. So she went to the principal of her college and told the principal that my spiritual master is taking a yatra to the holy land of Vrindavan, which is the birthplace and the playground of Krishna. And when he speaks Harikatha, the divine pastimes of Krishna manifest in sound form. I have never missed a single yatra. I don't know, human life is very fickle. I may not be there till the next year. There is no guarantee. My spiritual master says there is no guarantee. So I want to go for this yatra. Please, can you do something about it? I know this is a ridiculous request, but can the exams be preponed or postponed? Principal was shocked. No student had dared to make such a request ever. It's so ridiculous is the only word. So impossible. But he said, let me think about it. You ask me next week. Come back after 1 week. That 1 week, day and night, she was chanting. Can you imagine the sincerity? Day and night she was chanting. No count how many rounds. With the simple prayer that I really, really, really want to attend the yatra. I do not want to miss the yatra with my spiritual master. I cannot be sitting in Pune giving these mundane exams where my spiritual master is doing kirtan in Man Mandir. My spiritual master is taking us for Govardhan Parikrama. Radha Kund, Sham Kund. I cannot be sitting here. I cannot miss this for anything in the world. If it doesn't change, the dates don't change, I will miss the exam. I will take it after 6 months or something. But I'm not missing the yatra. She had so much faith and dedication to Krishna consciousness. And she told her friends also to pray. Please pray, please pray. They said, this is an impossible prayer, but because you are saying we'll pray. And believe it or not, after 1 week, the principal called her and said, we cannot prepone the exam, but I have postponed it by 2 weeks. And everybody's happy because all the students get more time to study. So nobody's complaining also. We have postponed it by 2 weeks, so you can go for the other. It was something impossible that became possible by her sincerity. Then her mother had to do some blood tests for her insurance. You know, when you have an insurance, you have to do a blood test to get cleared, and then so there was a blood test she had to do. So Shama took her mother, Janava Mata, for that blood test. And somehow Janava Mata said, you also do the blood test. Let's both do it. We have come. It's good to do. But I don't have any symptoms. No, just do it. So she also did the blood test. And her blood counts were completely off. She was very anemic. Platelet counts were very low. So they were very confused. What is wrong? So they went to one specialist after another. Finally, a hematologist, oncologist diagnosed that she had a very serious problem in her liver and spleen. She had a congenital problem, some genetic problem because of which her liver had become very big, her spleen had become very big, and the spleen was eating all the blood cells. That's why her cell counts were very low. And not only that, the pressure had built up so much because of the enlarged spleen that one of the big veins called portal vein had a blood clot, huge blood clot. But they couldn't give her a blood thinner because her platelet count was very low. She would bleed. So it was a catch-22 situation. And even the doctors were thinking what to do, young girl. See, in those days, there was no liver transplant. That is the ultimate treatment for that, but there was no liver transplant in those days. We're talking about 24, 25 years ago. So the doctor said it's very unpredictable. We don't know. In allopathy, we don't have any much cure. So she went to a homeopathy doctor, Ayurvedic doctor, and they gave some medicines and she was taking that. But the allopathy doctor hinted that this could be life-threatening. You're sitting on a time bomb. Because anytime those big blood vessels in your esophagus, stomach can just rupture and you may just bleed internally. So, she took it very seriously. And she was only 20 years old at that time. So when she went for the Vrindavan Yatra, she was anyway very intense in her bhakti, but this year she was totally intense. And she told her mother that, "Mother, I think this is the last time I'm coming to Vrindavan. So I want to absorb myself completely. And I want to serve devotees who are leaving their body in Vrindavan." So in those days, in the year 2000, she found out that there was a hospice in Vrindavan. It was not developed like it is now, but there was a hospice. So every morning she would wake up before Mangalarti and she would go to the temple, Krishna Balram Mandir, attend the full morning program, chant all her rounds there. And then she would stand in front of Radha Shyam Sundar. The pujaris there noticed for 4 to 5 hours every day. Stand, chant with her Japamala, constantly gazing at Radharani, just looking at Radharani. And the pujaris tell there were constant tears in her eyes, just crying. But she knew this is the last time I'm seeing Radha Shyam Sundar. Probably. She was intensely chanting. Then she would go with Maharaj wherever they are going that day. In the afternoon, when there is some little time, 1 hour, 2 hours free time in Yatra, after the lunch prasad, there is some gap where you can take some rest, and then again evening you come. Everybody would go take a rest. At that time, she would go to the hospice. And she would do menial service for the patients, washing their clothes, cleaning their bathroom, cleaning their rooms, cooking for them, feeding them if they are not able to feed themselves. She would do menial service for these hospice terminal patients in Vrindavan who are villagers, simple people who have come to Vrindavan to die. She would serve them. Then evening she would go with Maharaj for the lectures, attend everything. And when everybody would retire after a long day, she would go to Prabhupada quarters in Vrindavan temple and she would beg permission. Let me stay for 20-30 minutes and clean Prabhupada's quarters. And she would sweep, she would mop, she would dust Prabhupada's quarters. She said, I want to do some service for Prabhupada. My prayer is that Prabhupada, who is the eternal resident of Vrindavan, will give me residence in Vrindavan after I die. It was not so sure that she's going to die. Nobody had told her so clearly, but they had implied it and she took it very seriously. So that trip in Vrindavan, she was very, very intense, very intense. Intensely Krishna conscious. She never criticized anybody. She never wasted any moment. She chanted a lot. She did a lot of Vaishnava Seva, a lot of Dham Seva, and heard Maharaj's lectures with great eagerness and intensity. And then when she came back to Pune, she heard Maharaj's lectures, specifically dealing with death. And she made notes and stuck them on the wall in her room. Reminders to herself: be a good disciple, be a good daughter, be a good sister, pray to Krishna, be a good devotee. And she had one craze, one madness, and that was flowers. She knew every flower available in Pune, the season, their fragrance, their specialty, and all the exotic imported flowers that were brought to Pune. The flower wala, the florists knew her very well. She was an expert in flowers. and she has such a taste for flowers. She would regularly go to the florist and purchase the common local flowers and the exotic ones, the fragrant flowers. And she would make very tasteful decorations for her Radha Shyam Sundar and garlands for Gaurnita Radha Shyam Sundar Jagannath Baldev Subhadra every single day. Her standard of deity worship was like this. She would bathe Gaurnita and Radha Shyam Sundar every single day. She would dress them every single day, put new clothes, new jewels every single day, and she would make garlands with her own hands every day for all the deities. Her morning deity worship took around 2 to 3 hours. And the previous night, she would make the garlands and keep. So she would do elaborate deity worship and chanting her rounds in the morning before going to college. And she took that exam that was postponed, and then she passed with flying colors. She got like first class or distinction, whatever it is. She got very good grades. And she was specifically listening to Maharaj's lectures again and again, some lectures even 20-25 times, where Maharaj talks about dying and how to quit one's body successfully. And she would share those lectures with her friends. This lecture you must hear. Maharaj is so intensely explaining how to quit one's body. I'm preparing for death. And then there were some talks about her marriage because she was 21. At least some talks were going on. And she said, Mama, I don't want to marry. I don't want to marry. I don't want to marry. I just want to travel with Maharaj and cook for him if I live. That's my ambition. She was a very good cook, very good at deity worship. And then one day, when her results came, when she had passed with flying colors, her mother had gone somewhere. And then she got the result in the mail. She opened and she saw that she got very good grades. Just then the mother came. Mother knocked on the door, so she opened the door. Mother came inside, Janava Mata. And Shama Sundari told her mother, Mama, I got my result and I got very good grades. It's by your blessings, Mama. And she bent down to touch her mother's feet. And when she bent down, just vomited blood. And just profusely started vomiting blood. Lot of blood. And then she became lightheaded. So Janava Mata laid her down on the sofa and called for an ambulance. It's not so quick in India. But ambulance came. She was put in the ambulance and taken to a local hospital in Pune. And when they went there to the emergency department, the casualty, she was put on a wheelchair. And her whole face had become pale because she had lost so much blood. And her blood pressure was dropping. They could not even measure her blood pressure. It was so low. And she was almost in and out of consciousness. And she was wheeled into the ICU. So Janava Mata tried to go with her. And the ward boy told her, you cannot go to the ICU. You have to stay outside. Nobody's allowed inside. So they put a mask on her face, oxygen mask, and they wheeled her inside. So as she was taken inside, and Janava Mata was still standing at the door of the ICU, Shama Sundari removed the oxygen mask and one last time turned behind and called out to her mother, Mama. So Janava Mata just could not control herself. She ran inside to her daughter and held her hand. And Shama Sundari looked into the eyes of Janava Mata and said, Mama, give me my beads. Her initiated beads were with her, and now her mother was holding them. So she said, Mama, give me my beads. I want to keep my beads with me. So immediately Janava Mata gave her Japamala to her. Yajnanam Japa Yajnasmi. And she was too weak to chant. She was too weak to hold the beads, put her hand inside. But so many years she had chanted on those beads. She just held those beads to her heart like this. and she was taken inside. And Janava Mata had to come outside, and within a few minutes, she was gone, holding her Japamala, on which Maharaj had chanted at the time of initiation, to her heart. Just like that. She was fine, and then she was gone, holding her Japamala to her heart. So then her body was brought to the flat. Maharaj was informed that Shama Sundari has passed away suddenly. It was a big shock for the whole congregation. So Maharaj got into a car with few brahmacharis, immediately left Mumbai and came to Pune. By evening, Maharaj reached the home, and she was kept on ice in the house. So Maharaj sat next to her, and all night, till the sun rose, Maharaj was doing kirtan, along with brahmacharis and other congregation devotees. Maharaj and all, they were doing Sankirtan Yajna. Yajnanam Japa Yajnasmi and Sankirtan Yajna till morning. Then morning it was time to take her to the crematorium for the Anteshti Kriya. So Maharaj got up. And Janava Mata came to Maharaj. She was so overwhelmed that Maharaj came all the way from Bombay. He stayed here awake all night doing kirtan. It's unimaginable, such mercy. Can you imagine? You die and your spiritual master is sitting next to you all night doing kirtan for you. So Maharaj finally got up in the morning and Janava Mata went to, this I have heard directly from the lotus note of Janava Mata. She said this in a Vyaspuja offering. 2003 Vyaspuja offering in Dadar, Mumbai. I was there. So Janava Mata went to Srila Radhanath Swami Maharaj and said, Maharaj, thank you. Thank you for your mercy. Came all the way. Maharaj was very grave. He looked at Janava Mata and told her, Shama Sundari has gone to Goloka Vrindavan and she is with Radha Sham Sundar there. Imagine the plight of a mother who has just lost a 21-year-old girl. Janava Mata was besides herself with grief and shock. But hearing Maharaj's words that Shama Sundari has gone to Goloka Vrindavan and she is with Radha Sham Sundar now, Janava Mata folded her hands and said, Maharaj, thank you for your kind words. And Maharaj replied, these are not kind words, these are true words. And then Shama Sundari came in the dream of at least 7 or 8 devotees, showing them that she is with Radha in Vrindavan. And Maharaj said that these are not ordinary dreams. She really went back to God. She really went to Goloka Vrindavan in this lifetime. Simple girl living in Pune, student, 21 years old. But what she had was a life of yajna. Japa yajna, Archana yajna, Nam Sankirtan yajna, Vaishnav seva, and intense faith in Guru. And being Ugra Shrava, hearing with intensity what Maharaj is saying. Then Maharaj said that Shama Sundari, you have lived a life of true devotion and dedication, and we are very proud of you. Maharaj said like that. We are very proud of you. For the spiritual master to say that I am proud of you, that is the ultimate success for a disciple. There's nothing more. If the spiritual master is proud of us. So here is one real devotee. She is not some brahmachari She is not some sannyasi, just a grassroots devotee, chanting her rounds, doing deity worship, attending temple programs with intensity and eagerness. And she got Krishna. One of her neighbors wrote an offering. What do you say of a 21-year-old girl who died? That she was charming, that she was full of life. Well, she was all this, but above all, she was a great devotee of Radha Shamsundar. Here is a genuine devotee when comes such another. Such devotees are very rare or sincere. But when we hear about them, when we see how they dealt with death, how they dealt with such a diagnosis, which is completely unpredictable, a rare disease, it gives us inspiration that when we have problems in our life, we can also deal with them with devotion, with intensity, and with integrity. Then here Krishna said in this verse, Yajna Shishta Amrita Bhujo. Then we will get the taste of Amrit. Yajna Shishta Amrita Bhujo. In the end, we will taste the Amrit. Life is difficult for everyone. It is difficult for Elon Musk also. It was difficult for Steve Jobs also. Who was Steve Jobs? No? Yeah. Steve Jobs also. And it is difficult for a beggar on the road. It is difficult for everyone. Life is difficult for everyone in this world. What sets a successful person apart is how we do our yajna that Krishna has prescribed, that the Vedas have prescribed. 2 hours in the morning on Zoom, we have a meeting every morning, 4:30 to 6:30. Many of you join. Thank you. So that morning hour is our yajna time. Our whole day should be arranged in a way that 4:30 to 6:30 we are attentive. And every day we should make a sankalpa. Today I will chant with intensity. I will not think of anyone else, anything else. I will just focus on the holy name, and like Shama Sundari, I will be in a prayerful mood. How she would stand in front of Radha Shamsundar. Shiva Mukunda Prabhu noticed this girl who has come from Pune with Maharaj, and she just stands for 4 hours with tears in her eyes. Who can cry for 4 hours? Just weeping and chanting in front of Radharani. That Radharani, will you accept me? Will you accept me? Will you accept me? Please accept me as your maid servant. I just want to serve you. That is our time of yajna. Now, when we come together, we are hearing Bhagavad Gītā, it is yajna. Krishna says, the brahmacharis offer their karnendriya as yajna. And now when we will do Nam Sankirtan, that is also yajna. So we should be attentive. We should not think, when will this end? When will I go? When will there be prasad? What is there for prasad? There's nothing. There's only khichdi today. But this yajna is most important. At the time of death, this will count. Not how many movies we have watched, not all other things we have done. Krav Maga cannot save us from Yamaraj. There is no defense. When Yamaraj will grab, Krav will not help. So we have to chant very nicely. This is Yajna. Everybody ready for Yajna? Nam Sankirtan Yajna. So we'll do Nam Sankirtan and then there will be Prasadam. Okay? Hare Krishna. For Grace Venya Mataji, please come. Please do keep. You want harmonium? Just like that? Okay. You sit here and do Kirtan. You want Kartal or just sing?
I don't know how to play it.
Okay, you just sing then. You can play. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की श्री श्यामा सुंदरी माता जी की जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की हरि बोल. Maybe sit here only. If you want, I can move this. If you don't feel comfortable, sit here. You sit here. I'm able to sit next to you.
राधे 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 हे राधे कृपा करो, राधे कृपा करो, लाडली कृपा करो, लाडली कृपा करो, हे राधे कृपा करो, हे राधे कृपा करो, लाडली कृपा करो, लाडली कृपा करो, लाडली कृपा करो, राधे किशोरी दया करो, राधे किशोरी कृपा करो, श्यामा लाडली दया करो, श्यामा लाडली दया करो. हरे राम 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम राम हरे हरे कृष्ण हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. हे राधे कृपा करो, हे राधे कृपा करो, लाडली कृपा करो, राधे किशोरी दया करो, राधे श्यामा लाडली कृपा करो. कृपा करो राधे, कृपा करो, कृपा करो, कृपा करो राधे, कृपा करो, दया करो, दया करो, दया दया करो दया करो राधे दया करो राधे 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 हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 करो राधे कृपा करो दया करो दया करो दया दया करो दया करो दया करो राधे दया करो दया करो दया करो दया करो राधे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे राधे 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 हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल जय गौर हरि बोल प्रभुपाद जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय